Today, I want to share something I've been silent about in the past year and a half. So, this was on the Hong Kong Animal Post just earlier this month, and I think it's time for me to speak up. So, I'm going to translate this into English. If you want the original document, I will put that in the post. Everyone, please listen up. YouTuber's kind act to save a cat turns into nightmare encounter with a fake animal volunteer. Hong Kong Animal Post. Many kind-hearted individuals cannot turn a blind eye to injured animals in need, stepping up to rescue them. However, there are those who exploit the plight of injured stray cats using emotional manipulation and harassment to take advantage of Good Samaritans. Animal rescuer and YouTuber Melody recently encountered such a person in Shamshui Po, Hong Kong. A woman who claimed to be an animal volunteer, she approached Melody, claiming she lacked the resources to care for a severely injured stray cat and sought Melody's help. However, when Melody saw the cat, she was horrified to find it had lost its hind legs, suffered severe injuries all over its body, and appeared to have wounds improperly stitched together. Without hesitation, Melody took the cat to a veterinary clinic where it underwent treatment and surgery, costing over six figures. What seemed to be a simple act of kindness quickly turned into an unending nightmare as the fake volunteer began to harass Melody, leaving her mentally and emotionally exhausted. Melody recounted how it all began about a year and a half ago when a woman claiming to be an animal volunteer approached her, asking her for help with a critically injured stray cat. When she showed me the cat, I was utterly speechless. The poor animal had lost its hind legs, leaving only exposed stumps, and its body was covered in severe injuries. The stench of decay was almost unbearable. My heart ached. I couldn't stand by and do nothing. I couldn't let this helpless creature continue to suffer. I told myself I had to act and save it. I took the cat in and sought professional help. But what started as an ordinary rescue request escalated into a nightmare. The woman began repeatedly contacting Melody, claiming she had spent a lot of money on the cat, demanding 50,000 Hong Kong dollars without providing any specific details. When Melody requested more information, the woman became emotionally volatile and started harassing her. She began an endless campaign of harassment against me. She filed false complaints with the police, fire department, and other government agencies. My life turned into an endless battle. She even stalked me online, spreading malicious lies. Melody admitted the situation left her deeply distressed and unhappy. It wasn't until recently that she discovered others had also encountered similar harassment from the same woman under the guise of seeking help for injured animals. The cat, after receiving treatment, was later transferred to a reputable animal rescue group and was successfully adopted. Sadly, the cat permanently lost its hind legs due to suspected abuse and neglect. Melody shared her story after seeing another recent incident involving a sick cat exploited during foster care, which reminded her of her traumatic experience. She hopes to encourage anyone facing similar situations to speak up instead of remaining silent. I need to share an incredibly personal and heartbreaking experience. It's a story I haven't fully healed from, but I feel it's necessary to speak up. Perhaps it can help others avoid falling into the same nightmare as I have. Recently, I read a report about a foster cat that was allegedly abused during its foster care. The details shocked me, as they mirrored my experience. The supposed volunteer even shared the same last name and same nickname and live in the same district. The process was eerily similar to my encounter, and I began to suspect this might be part of a calculated scheme targeting vulnerable animals and compassionate people like us. About a year and a half ago, a woman claiming to be an animal volunteer contacted me. She said she lacked the resources to care for a critically injured stray cat and begged for my help. When she showed me the cat, I was speechless. The poor animal had lost one of its hind legs and the other one was severely damaged, leaving only raw stumps. Most of its body was covered in severe wounds, and its abdomen was infected. The smell of decay was overwhelming. My heart broke, and I couldn't turn a blind eye. I could not let this helpless creature continue to suffer. And so I told myself I had to save it. I took the cat in and sought professional care as soon as possible. Initially, I thought it was a routine rescue request, but shortly after, the woman began relentlessly contacting me, demanding a substantial sum, 50,000 Hong Kong dollars. Her reasoning was vague, claiming she had spent a lot of money on the cat and she refused to provide any concrete details. When I gently requested more information, she became aggressive and her harassment escalated significantly. Sadly, things didn't just stop there. She launched a relentless campaign of harassment against me, filing false complaints with the police, fire department, and other government agencies. My life became a never ending nightmare. She even stopped me spreading malicious lies online, and every time my phone rang, I felt a heavy sense of dread, fearing what new horror awaited me. Her tactics seemed to be to create constant fear and emotional distress, trying to force me into submission. During this time, I poured all my energy into caring for this cat. Every trip to the vet left me wondering how much pain this poor animal had endured before coming to me. The medical bills eventually exceeded six figures. Experts even raised concerns that the injuries may not have been accidental. They suspected the cat's suffering could have been deliberately inflicted or could be worsened through neglect or even abuse. This thought sent me chills down the spine. What hurts me the most wasn't just the cat's physical injuries, but the realization that someone out there might be using its suffering as a tool to manipulate and exploit others. During this ordeal, I began hearing similar stories from others in the community. They too had been approached with requests for help, only to face relentless harassment, monetary demands, and even the misuse of their personal information for further scams. This experience left me emotionally drained, financially strained, and struggling to trust others. But I refuse to let this pain keep me silent. I'm sharing this story to prevent others from enduring the same torment. And if someone approaches you with a similar request, I urge you to remain vigilant, ask questions, and verify their claims, and ask assistance from reputable animal welfare organizations. Protect yourself and animals in need. Don't let them and don't let yourself become pawns in someone else's deceitful scheme. Thank you very much. I will share more on this story later. Everyone, please stay safe. Please stay vigilant. Remain compassionate, but please be smart about it.